Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the starship Starbound, looking out at the endless black space filled with distant stars. He had been exploring the outer edges of known space for 3 years now, searching for new worlds and new life forms. Today felt different, though. The ship's computers had been picking up strange signals all morning. "Captain, we're getting something unusual," said Lisa Carter, his first officer. She was bent over her console, her blonde hair falling across her face as she worked. "It's not like anything we've seen before." Jake walked over to her station and looked at the screen. Strange patterns of light were dancing across the display, forming shapes that almost looked like words, but not quite. "Can you clean it up?" "Working on it now," Lisa replied, her fingers flying over the controls. Slowly, the patterns began to make more sense. The ship's translation computer was trying to turn the alien signals into words they could understand. After several minutes, words began to appear on the screen. They were broken and strange, but Jake could read them. "Please, help, dying, alone. Please come inside of me, human. Need you." Jake felt his heart skip a beat. This was clearly a distress call from some kind of alien being. But the message was strange. Why did it specifically ask for a human? How did this alien even know about humans? "Dr. Rodriguez, please come to the bridge," Jake said into his communicator. Ben Rodriguez was the ship's chief medical officer and the best person to help figure out what they were dealing with. Within minutes, Dr. Rodriguez arrived on the bridge. He was a short, friendly man with kind eyes who always seemed to know what to do in difficult situations. "What do we have, Captain?" Jake showed him the message. Dr. Rodriguez read it carefully, his eyebrows rising higher with each word. "This is remarkable. An alien species that knows about humans and is specifically asking for our help." "But why humans?" asked Lisa. "There are dozens of alien species in this part of space. Why ask for us specifically?" Before anyone could answer, the ship's sensors started beeping loudly. "Captain," called out Tony Williams from the sensor station, "we have a ship approaching. It's unlike anything in our database." On the main screen, an image appeared that made everyone on the bridge gasp. The approaching vessel didn't look like any spaceship they had ever seen. Instead of metal and hard edges, it seemed to be made of some kind of living material. It glowed softly with blue and green lights that pulsed like a heartbeat. The ship was beautiful, but it was also clearly in trouble. Parts of it were dim and flickering, like a dying candle. "The distress signal is coming from that ship," Tony reported. "And Captain, I'm reading life signs aboard. Just one, but it's very weak." Jake made his decision quickly. "Lisa, take us closer. Tony, keep scanning. I want to know everything about that ship before we make contact." As the Starbound moved closer to the alien vessel, more details became visible. The ship was enormous, at least twice the size of the Starbound, but it moved through space like a living creature swimming through water. Its surface was covered in what looked like scales or plates that shifted and moved constantly. "Captain," Dr. Rodriguez said quietly, "I'm reading some very unusual energy signatures from that ship. It's almost like the ship itself is alive." The distress signal came again, clearer this time. "Please, human ship, I see you there. Please come inside of me. I am dying and I need your help. Other ships have come, but they will not enter. Please, I beg you." Jake felt a chill run down his spine. The voice in the signal sounded desperate and afraid. Whatever was on that ship was in real trouble. "Captain," Lisa said carefully, "we don't know anything about this species. Going aboard could be extremely dangerous. This could be a trap." Jake nodded. She was right to be cautious, but something about the voice in the distress call made him believe it was genuine. The fear and loneliness in it sounded real. "Dr. Rodriguez, what do you think? Is it safe to make contact?" The doctor studied his readings carefully. "The life sign is definitely getting weaker. Whatever is over there doesn't have much time left. As for safety, I can't say for sure, but I'm not detecting any weapons or hostile technology." Jake walked to the center of the bridge and looked at his crew. They were all good people who had volunteered for this dangerous mission to explore unknown space. They trusted him to make the right decisions. The message specifically asked for humans, Jake said. That means this alien knows something about us, something that makes them think we can help when others wouldn't. I think we need to try. Lisa looked worried. Sir, what if it's dangerous? What if this alien wants to hurt you? Jake smiled at his first officer. Lisa, we didn't come out here to play it safe. We came to explore, to learn, and to help where we can. This being is dying and asking for our help. How can we say no? He turned to the communications officer. Open a channel to the alien ship. Channel open, Captain. Jake took a deep breath. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the Earth vessel Starbound. We received your distress call. We want to help you. Can you tell us what you need? The response came immediately, filled with hope and relief. Oh, thank you, human, thank you. I am Zara. My ship body is dying because I have been alone too long. I need someone to come inside my ship to be with me, to share their life energy with me. Other species fear to enter because my ship is part of my body. But humans, I have heard humans are different. Please, will you come inside of me and help me live? Jake looked around at his crew. They all looked nervous but determined. This was why they had come to space, to meet new life and to help where they could. Zara, Jake said into the communicator, I will come to your ship. Just tell me how. Jake put on his spacesuit carefully, checking every seal and connection twice. Dr. Rodriguez helped him with the final checks while Lisa watched nervously from the airlock door. Are you sure about this, Captain? Lisa asked for the third time. We still don't know what we're dealing with. Jake looked at his worried first officer through his helmet visor. I'm sure, Lisa. That being is dying and we might be the only ones who can help. Dr. Rodriguez handed Jake a small device. This will monitor your vital signs and keep us in contact. If anything goes wrong, we'll know immediately and beam you. Pack. Jake clipped the device to his belt and walked toward the airlock. Keep the ship ready, but don't do anything unless I'm in real danger. This Zara seems scared enough already. The airlock opened and Jake floated out into space. The alien ship was even more beautiful up close. Its surface moved like it was breathing, and the blue and green lights pulsed in gentle patterns. As he got closer, part of the ship's surface began to change, opening like a flower to create an entrance. Welcome, human Jake, came Zara's voice through his communicator. Please enter quickly. The opening is hard for me to maintain when I'm so weak. Jake pushed himself through the opening and immediately felt different. Instead of the cold metal of his own ship, everything around him felt warm and alive. The walls glowed softly, and he could feel a gentle humming through his boots. The entrance sealed behind him, and suddenly the space filled with breathable air. Jake checked his readings and was amazed to find the air was perfectly safe for humans. You can remove your helmet if you wish, Zara said. I have made the air suitable for your kind. Jake hesitated for a moment, then decided to trust her. He removed his helmet and took a breath. The air smelled like flowers and rain, fresh and clean. Thank you, Jake said aloud. Where are you, Zara? I can hear you, but I don't see you. I am all around you, she replied, and Jake felt the walls pulse gently. This ship is my body, human Jake. I am not separate from it like you are from your metal vessels. Jake looked around with new understanding. The corridor he stood in was not just a hallway, it was part of a living being. The walls were smooth and curved with veins of light running through them like blood vessels. Everything pulsed gently with Zara's heartbeat. This is incredible, Jake whispered. I've never seen anything like this. Please come deeper into me, Zara said. I need you to reach my heart chamber. That is where I am most myself. Jake began, walking down the corridor, amazed by everything he saw. The floor felt soft under his feet, like walking on thick carpet. The walls were covered in patterns that shifted and changed, showing him beautiful scenes of distant worlds and strange, alien landscapes. These pictures, Jake said, are they real places? They are worlds I have visited, Zara explained. My people, the Viridians, are explorers. We travel the galaxy in our ship bodies, learning about new places and new life. As Jake walked deeper into the ship, he began to feel something strange. It was like a warm feeling in his chest, a sense of connection and peace. What's happening to me? he asked. You are feeling my emotions, Zara said, and her voice sounded surprised. I did not expect it to happen so quickly. Your mind is very open, human Jake, very accepting. Jake felt waves of gratitude and hope flowing through him, but underneath, those feelings was something else, terrible loneliness and fear. You've been alone for a long time, he said softly. Yes, Zara replied, and Jake could hear sadness in her voice. My people need emotional connections to survive long journeys. We usually travel with partners from another species, beings who share their feelings with us. But my partner left me many months ago when we encountered dangerous space storms. Since then, I have been dying slowly. Jake felt anger rise in his chest. Anger at whoever had abandoned this gentle being when she needed help most. That's terrible. How could anyone just leave you? They were afraid, Zara said. The storms were dangerous and my partner decided I was not worth the risk. They said I was just an alien, that their own life was more important. Jake clenched his fists. That's not right. Nobody should be left to die alone. Finally, Jake reached a large circular room at the center of the ship. The walls here were transparent, showing the stars outside, and in the center was something that took his breath away. A figure made of crystal and light stood in the middle of the room, beautiful and alien but clearly alive. This is my true form, Zara said, and the crystal figure turned to face Jake with eyes like blue stars. Thank you for coming to me, human Jake. I can already feel your presence making me stronger. Jake walked closer to Zara, feeling the warmth of connection growing stronger with each step. How does this work? How can I help you? Just by being here, by caring, Zara explained. Your emotions, your kindness, they feed my life force. Other species find this too intimate, too personal. They fear losing themselves in the connection. But you embrace it. Jake felt tears in his eyes as he understood how alone and desperate Zara had been. I'm here now, he said firmly. You don't have to be alone anymore. The crystal being reached out with one hand and Jake took it without hesitation. The moment their hands touched, Jake felt a flood of emotions and memories. He saw Zara's travels across the galaxy, her joy at discovering new worlds, and her terrible loneliness when her partner abandoned her. But he also felt something else, amazement and wonder from Zara as she experienced human emotions for the first time. His compassion and determination, his natural instinct to help someone in need, his ability to care about a complete stranger. Remarkable, Zara whispered. No wonder my distress call reached you. Humans truly are different from any species I have known. Jake had been inside Zara's ship for 6 hours now, and he could feel the changes happening around him. The walls glowed brighter, the air felt fresher, and the gentle humming of the ship's systems grew stronger. Most importantly, Zara herself looked healthier. Her crystal form was clearer now and her blue star eyes sparkled with renewed life. I can feel your emotions so clearly, Zara said as they sat together in her heart chamber. They are so different from what I expected. When I was young, my teachers told us that humans were warriors, that you solved problems with violence. Jake laughed softly. Some humans are like that, but most of us just want to help each other and live peaceful lives. We're not perfect, but we try to do the right thing. Through their connection, Zara experienced Jake's amusement and warmth. She had never felt anything like human laughter before. It was light and healing, like sunshine after rain. Meanwhile, on the Starbound, the crew was working hard to understand what was happening. Lisa Carter stood on the bridge coordinating with Dr. Rodriguez and the science team. The energy readings from the alien ship have improved dramatically, reported Tony Williams from his sensor station. Whatever the captain is doing over there, it's working. Dr. Rodriguez studied the data on his medical scanner. Jake's vital signs are stable, and I'm detecting some kind of energy exchange between him and the alien vessel. It's like they're sharing life force somehow. Lisa felt worried but also amazed. He's been over there for hours. How long can he keep this up? I don't know, Dr. Rodriguez admitted, but he seems to be getting stronger, not weaker. This connection is helping both of them. Back in Zara's ship, Jake was learning more about her people and their way of life. Through their mental link, she shared memories of her homeworld, a beautiful planet covered in crystal cities that grew like living trees. My people build our ships the same way we build our homes, Zara explained. We grow them from our own bodies over many years. Each ship becomes part of us, and we become part of it. Jake watched in wonder as Zara showed him memories of young Viridians learning to grow their first small ships. It was like watching children learn to walk, but instead of moving their legs, they were learning to extend their consciousness into living crystal. That's incredible, Jake said. But why do you need partners from other species? Why can't Viridians travel together? Zara's form flickered slightly with sadness. We are too similar to each other. When we travel together for long periods, our emotions begin to mirror each other perfectly. It creates a kind of loop that makes us weak and confused. We need the different emotions and thoughts of other species to keep us balanced and strong. Through their connection, Jake felt what she meant. It was like trying to hear your own echo. Without different voices, everything became flat and empty. The species that usually partners with us are called the ethereals, Zara continued. They are beings of pure energy who enjoy the stability our crystal forms provide. But they are also cold and calculating. They see relationships as business, arrangements. Jake felt a flash of anger as Zara shared the memory of her partner's abandonment. The ethereal had simply stated that continuing the partnership was no longer profitable and disappeared, leaving Zara alone in dangerous space. That's horrible, Jake said. Nobody should treat you like a business deal. What amazed Zara most was how genuinely upset Jake became on her behalf. Through their connection, she could feel his protective instincts awakening. He was angry at someone he had never met for hurting someone he had just gotten to know. This was completely foreign to her experience with other species. You truly care about me, she said with wonder. Even though we just met, even though I am not human, you feel responsible for my well-being. Jake looked at her crystal form with surprise. Of course I care. You're a living being who was hurt and alone. How could I not care? Through their link, Zara experienced something she had never felt before. The human concept of family that extends beyond blood relations. Jake's mind was full of memories of helping strangers, of his crew members becoming like brothers and sisters to him, of humans who risked their lives for people they had never met. Your species is remarkable, Zara said softly. You form bonds so easily, so naturally. You make family out of strangers. Jake smiled. My grandmother used to say that strangers are just family we haven't met yet. As he said this, Jake felt homesick for the first time in months. Through their connection, Zara experienced his memories of Earth, green forests, blue oceans, and the warm feeling of belonging somewhere. But she also felt something else in his memories. Humor. Humans found joy and laughter even in difficult situations. When Jake remembered getting lost during his first space mission, instead of feeling only fear or embarrassment, he also remembered how his crew had laughed together about it later. Go, find amusement in your mistakes, Zara observed with fascination. Life's too short to take everything seriously, Jake replied. Sometimes you just have to laugh at yourself. Zara tried to understand this concept. Her people were always serious, always focused on their duties and responsibilities. The idea of finding joy in failure was completely new to her. Suddenly, the ship's communication system activated. Captain Morrison, this is Lisa. We're detecting multiple ships approaching your position. Jake sat up straight. What kind of ships? They appear to be the same design as Zara's vessel, Lisa replied. I count at least 12 of them. Through their connection, Zara felt Jake's concern, but also his determination to protect her. Those are my people, she said. They must have sensed that I am recovering. Is that good or bad? Jake asked. Zara's crystal form flickered with uncertainty. I do not know. Some of them may be happy that I survived. Others may be angry that I formed a bond with an unknown species without permission. Jake stood up and squeezed Zara's crystal hand gently. Whatever happens, we'll face it together. You're not alone anymore. Through their connection, Zara felt Jake's courage and loyalty flowing into her like warm sunlight. For the first time, in her long life, she understood why humans had such a reputation among the few species who knew them. They didn't just make allies, they made family. The 12 Viridian ships arrived like a fleet of glowing jellyfish, their crystal hulls pulsing with different colors. Jake watched through Zara's transparent walls as they formed a circle around her ship. Each vessel was unique, grown in different patterns and shapes, but all shared the same living beauty. "Zara of the deep stars," came a voice through the communication system. The tone was formal and cold. "You have violated first contact protocols by bonding with an unknown species. Explain yourself." Zara's crystal form flickered with nervousness, but Jake felt her draw strength from their connection. "Elder Keth, I was dying. This human saved my life when my ethereal partner abandoned me." "The ethereals had good reason to leave," replied. The voice Jake now knew belonged to Elder Keth. "We are fleeing the dark storm, and partnerships with unreliable species only slow us down." Jake frowned. "What's the dark storm?" Through their link, Zara shared images that made Jake's blood run cold. He saw a massive wave of darkness rolling through space, consuming entire star systems. Wherever it passed, planets became lifeless rocks, and the very fabric of space seemed to die. "It is a cosmic disaster unlike anything the galaxy has seen before," Zara explained. "It destroys life force itself, turning everything it touches into empty void. My people have been fleeing from it for 2 years." Jake felt sick as he understood the scope of the crisis. "How many people have died?" "Billions," Zara whispered. "Entire civilizations wiped out in moments. The storm grows stronger with each system it consumes." On the Starbound, Lisa was coordinating with Dr. Rodriguez and Tony as they tried to understand what was happening. The alien ships were not hostile, but they were clearly agitated about something. "Captain," Lisa called through the communicator, "we're picking up some kind of massive energy disturbance about 50 light-years from here. It's unlike anything in our database." Jake's heart sank as he realized what Lisa was detecting. "That's the dark storm. Zara's people are refugees fleeing from a cosmic disaster." Elder Keth's voice came through the communication system again. "Human vessel, remove your representative from Zara's ship immediately. We must continue our evacuation, and she cannot travel while bonded to your species." Jake felt Zara's panic through their connection. "If you leave now, I will die," she said quietly. "The bond we have formed is still too new. I need more time to stabilize." "Then you will die," Elder Keith replied coldly. "The needs of the many outweigh the needs of one. We cannot risk the entire fleet for your mistake." Jake felt anger burning in his chest. "Wait just a minute. You're talking about abandoning her just like her last partner did?" "Human, you do not understand our situation," Elder Keth said. "The dark storm will be here within days. Every moment we delay increases the risk to thousands of Viridian lives." Jake looked at Zara's crystal form and saw her accepting her fate with quiet dignity. Through their connection, he felt her resigned sadness, but also her gratitude for the few hours of companionship he had given her. "No," Jake said firmly. "There has to be another way." He activated his communicator to the Starbound. "Lisa, I need you to patch me through to Earth Command immediately. Emergency priority." "Sir, that will take several hours to establish a connection at this distance," Lisa replied. "Then start now," Jake ordered. "And send a message to every human ship in this sector. Tell them we have a first contact situation that requires immediate assistance." Elder Keth's voice carried obvious irritation. "Human, your species cannot help us. The dark storm consumes all life. No technology can stop it." Jake smiled grimly. "Maybe not, but I have an idea that might help everyone survive it." Over the next several hours, Jake worked with Zara to understand exactly how the Viridian bonding process worked. Through their connection, he learned that each Viridian needed constant emotional support from another species during long space journeys. Without it, they gradually weakened and died. The ethereals were logical partners because they were stable and predictable, Zara explained. But they also saw us as tools rather than friends. When danger came, they prioritized their own survival. Jake nodded as an idea formed in his mind. What if there was a species that actually wanted to help? A species that forms bonds naturally and doesn't abandon their friends when things get tough? Through their connection, Zara felt Jake's excitement and hope. You mean humans? Think about it, Jake said. Humans are natural explorers. We love to travel and see new places, and we're pack animals. We form family bonds with anyone who needs help. What if humans and Viridians became partners? Zara's crystal form brightened with possibility. Your emotions are so strong and varied. A human partner could probably support a Viridian for years without weakening. When the connection to Earth Command finally came through, Jake found himself speaking to Admiral Kate Thompson, one of the highest-ranking officers in the human space fleet. Captain Morrison, Admiral Thompson said, your message mentioned a refugee crisis and a possible partnership opportunity. Explain. Jake quickly outlined the situation, the dark storm, the fleeing Viridians, and his idea for a human-Viridian partnership program. You're suggesting we take on thousands of alien refugees as traveling companions? Admiral Thompson asked. I'm suggesting we gain thousands of new friends and allies, Jake replied. Admiral, these ships are incredible. They're faster than anything we have, and they're completely alive. In exchange for providing emotional support to the Viridians, humans would gain access to amazing technology and the ability to explore the galaxy like never before. Through the communication system, Elder Keth spoke up. This human plan is untested and dangerous. How do we know your species will not abandon us like the Ethereals did? Jake looked at Zara, then activated the ship-wide communication system so all the Viridian vessels could hear him. Because that's not who we are, Jake said simply. Humans don't abandon family, and anyone who bonds with us becomes family. We've traveled across the galaxy to explore and discover, but we've never forgotten that the most important thing is taking care of each other. He paused, feeling Zara's warmth and trust flowing through their connection. Give us a chance to prove. Let volunteers from both species try this partnership. If it works, we all survive. If it doesn't, you're no worse off than you are now. Elder Keth was quiet for a long moment. Finally, he spoke. The dark storm will reach us in 3 days. If your plan fails, we all die together. Jake squeezed Zara's crystal hand. Then we better make sure it works. 6 months had passed since the human-Viridian partnership began, and the results were beyond anyone's wildest dreams. Jake stood in the observation deck of Zara's ship, watching as dozens of other human-Viridian pairs worked together in the vast fleet that now traveled through space like a moving city. The dark storm had been successfully outrun, thanks to the combined speed of the Viridian bioships and the strategic thinking of human navigators. But more importantly, both species had discovered something wonderful in each other. Look at them, Zara said, her crystal form now brighter and more beautiful than ever. She pointed to a nearby ship where Jake could see a human woman named Amy Collins working with her Viridian partner to tend to a garden that grew inside the living vessel. I never imagined my ship could grow food, Zara continued, but Amy's emotions about nurturing and growth have taught me new ways to use my abilities. Jake smiled as he watched Amy laughing with her partner. The human woman had been a farmer on Earth before volunteering for the program, and she had brought her love of growing things into space. Her Viridian partner's ship now produced enough food to feed several other vessels in the fleet. The best part is how happy they both look, Jake said. Amy told me yesterday that she's never felt so useful or so needed. Through their deep bond, Jake and Zara had learned to share not just emotions but thoughts and dreams. Zara could experience Jake's memories of Earth, while Jake could see the galaxy through her ancient eyes. Their partnership had become something neither species had ever imagined possible. Captain Morrison to the bridge, came Lisa's voice through the ship's communication system. Jake's crew had been living aboard Zara's ship for months now, and the bio-vessel had grown new rooms specifically designed for human comfort. Jake made his way to the bridge, which was now a fascinating blend of human technology and Viridian biosystems. Lisa stood at a console that looked like it was made of living crystal, while Dr. Rodriguez monitored health readings for both humans and Viridians throughout the fleet. "What do you have for me?" Jake asked. "Long-range sensors have detected something interesting," Lisa replied, her excitement obvious. "There's a star system about 2 days away that has several habitable planets. One of them looks perfect for establishing a colony." Jake felt his heart race with excitement. Through their bond, Zara experienced his joy and anticipation. "A new world we could explore together? Not just explore?" Dr. Rodriguez added. "The atmospheric readings suggest it would be suitable for both human and Viridian life. We could build the first joint colony in galactic history." Elder Keth's voice came through the communication system from his own ship. Over the months, the elderly Viridian had become one of Jake's strongest supporters, though he rarely admitted it openly. "Human Jake, I have been monitoring your communications. This world you have found, it could be exactly what our people need, a place to rest and recover from our long flight." Jake activated the fleet-wide communication system. "All ships, this is Captain Morrison. We found something special, a world where humans and Viridians can build a new home together. Who wants to go take a look?" The response was immediate and enthusiastic. Voices came from dozens of ships as human-Viridian partnerships throughout the fleet expressed their excitement about the possibility of colonization. 2 days later, the entire fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel near a beautiful blue and green world that reminded Jake of Earth. The planet had vast oceans, green continents, and no signs of intelligent life that might be disturbed by their arrival. "It's perfect," whispered Amy Collins from her ship. "Look at all that space for farming and growing things." "The crystal formations on the northern continent would be ideal for Viridian cities," added her partner, a young Viridian named Vel Jake, and Zara led the first scouting mission to the planet's surface. As their shuttle landed in a beautiful valley surrounded by mountains, Jake felt overwhelmed by the significance of the moment. "This could be the beginning of something incredible," he said, as he stepped onto the alien soil. Zara's crystal form shimmered in the planet's sunlight as she extended her senses to feel the life energy of the world around them. "This planet is young and strong. It welcomes us." Over the following weeks, the joint human-Viridian colony began to take shape. The Viridians grew beautiful crystal cities that spiraled up toward the sky, while humans built farms and workshops in the valleys between them. The two styles of architecture blended together in ways that were both practical and beautiful. Jake watched from a hilltop as children from both species played together in the colony's central plaza. Human children laughed and ran while young Viridians chimed in harmonious tones, creating a new kind of music that had never existed before. "We did it," Zara said as she joined him on the hilltop. "We created something new and wonderful." Jake nodded, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. "My grandmother always said that the best things in life come from helping others. I think she would have loved to see this." Through their bond, Zara experienced Jake's memory of his grandmother and felt the warmth of family love that had shaped his character. "She sounds like she was very wise." "She was," Jake agreed. "She taught me that strangers are just family we haven't met yet." "Look around, Zara. We've got the biggest family in the galaxy now." The colony continued to grow and prosper over the following months. News of the successful human-Viridian partnership spread throughout known space, inspiring other species to reconsider their own relationships and alliances. Earth sent more volunteers eager to experience life among the stars, while other Viridian fleets began seeking out human partners of their own. The program that had started as a desperate attempt to save one dying alien had grown into a new model for interspecies cooperation. Jake and Zara stood together in their ship's observation deck one evening, watching the sunset over their new world. The bioship had become more than just a vessel. It was their home, their sanctuary, and the symbol of what two different species could accomplish together. "Do you ever miss your old life?" Zara asked. Jake thought about his question seriously. He missed some things about Earth, but he had gained so much more than he had lost. "I miss some people and places," he said finally. "But I wouldn't trade this for anything. We're building the future out here." Zara's crystal form glowed with contentment. When I sent that desperate message asking for help, I never imagined it would lead to all this. Jake smiled and took her crystal hand in his. Sometimes the best adventures start with someone asking for help, and sometimes the best thing you can do is say yes. As they watched the stars come out over their new world, Jake felt grateful for the desperate alien message that had changed everything. Zara's cry for help had led to the greatest partnership in galactic history, proving once again that humanity's greatest strength was their ability to build bridges where others saw only empty space.